Everybody, welcome today to Daily Distinction. Really glad that you're here. Thanks for joining me. It's an exciting day here around the office today. And hope you're doing well. Hope everything is going great. We're going to talk about how to have a good day every day. Can you create a good day? Well, I'm going to talk about how you do that and what you can do to make that happen, to have a good day every day. Glad everybody's here. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for jumping on here. And we've got some good stuff going on. As you can see, look at that. We just got those today. How fun is this? By the way, thank you. If you're watching on the replay, thank you for jumping on here. And thank you for taking a moment to watch it. Obviously, we're getting prepared for it's 2 weeks from today. Just 2 weeks from today for the Distinction Summit. And gosh, that's so exciting. So look, we got that. And let's see what else we got. Oh, so excited. We got a lot of cool stuff for those folks that sign up for VIP as part of it. And we want you to be there at the Distinction Summit. It is coming up October 16th to 18th. Stand out, earn more, the Distinction Summit. And we've got some exciting things. We got some great guests. Sage Steele of ESPN, Glenn Morshower of the Fox TV show The Resident, and also famous from 24 and the Transformer movies. Larry Winget, multiple-time New York Times bestseller. Joe Calloway, who has had an incredible career as an author and speaker, now as an investor who does such an enormous work, just such great work. Mark Sanborn of the Fred Factor. Ken Walls, the world's leading expert on live streaming. All of that going to be a part and even more that's coming up. So we're really, really excited about that. And by the way, enter the coupon code DISTINCT2020. You get $100 off your registration. Just go to distinctionsummit.com to sign up. Hope to see you there. We got a lot of great stuff happening with it. So excited about it. And Scott, as always, it's great to see you. Thank you for being here. Happy Friday to you as well. So one of the things we're going to talk about today is how do you create a good day? And during this time of pandemic, at a point that even, and regardless of political, this is not a political statement. Regardless of how you feel about the election or about Trump or whatever, what is happening in today's news shows us how interconnected we all are. That something happens at a market in China and it ends up infecting the president of the United States. We are all so interconnected. And when we think about that, how do you respond? And how do you deal with that? And it's the old cliche that we've all heard so many times that it's not what happens to you, it's how you respond to what happens to you that makes all the difference. Not what happens to you. It's how you respond to what happens to you that makes all the difference. So how do we respond? And how do we take control of those things over which we can control? Look, there are some things that are out of our control. A pandemic is out of our control. What can we do? Well, we can wear a mask, or we can wash our hands, or we can do the things that, even that there's no debate about, that might be of help. We can live our lives in that we can take control of what we can control. Well, so when there's so much challenge in our day, how do we have a good day? I walk between 2 and 3 miles every morning, and it kind of sets your attitude for the day. And I was listening today to a speech that was given, the recording I was listening to was a speech that was given, probably 40 years ago, maybe more, by this guy, Ed Foreman. Now, this is the video that I found. It has a speakers bureau there, and this certainly isn't an advertisement. I'm not even familiar with that speakers bureau. But Ed Foreman, he's got a different style. He's got a unique style. But it really struck me today that we really need this message. And the message is, how do we prepare? How do we have a good day? And what does it take to have a good day? So I want to share some of a little bit, just so you get just a little bit of feel for Ed Foreman, who I don't know, and he's a speaker that I've really not become acquainted with, but but his work has influenced me over a number of years. I want to share just a little bit of him talking about happiness and how people are about being happy. So just take a look and listen to a minute or two of Ed Foreman.
When we get this place all fixed up and we get everything rolling good on the job and our children get here, we're going to have a good time. They're going to let the good times roll. And when that happens, what do they say? That's right. Someday when those kids get out of school and get on their own and we get this place paid off, then, baby, we're going to have a good time then. Going to really have a good time. And when that happens, what do they say? That's right. Someday, when we retire, we're going to get that motor home. We're going to travel across this great country. We're going to see all those places you've been wanting to see. We're going to have a good time then. And one sad day on the way to the grave, they say, my gosh, I forgot to be happy. I forgot to enjoy life while I was here. They go all the way through planning someday to laugh, love, live, and enjoy, and never doing it here now today. Life is for laughing, loving, and living. It's not for whining. Nobody likes to whine. We have to do that. You know that's not our responsibility. Send it into Nottingham and let them take care of it. If you've got somebody like that on your team, I urge you to get them transferred as rapidly as you can. And I don't mean to another club within our group. Get them transferred to our competitors. They'll drain the life right out of it. Our doctors tell us that.
I just want to give you a little bit of that because, I know that some folks don't like the hyper animated and all of that, but it is just such a great program that he has. And it was so cool to listen to it this morning. And a significant part of what Ed talks about is how do you have a great day every day? Charles, as a matter of fact, he tells this great story in the speech that a little bit of background. Ed had his own business in ready-mix concrete and in building, and he also was speaker. He's by the way, I thought this was interesting. He has been elected to Congress, to the United States Congress, from 2 different states. He was elected to a congressional seat in Texas. Years later, he moved to New Mexico, and he got elected to a congressional seat in New Mexico. And the last person before Ed Foreman to be elected to Congress from 2 separate states was Davy Crockett, the real life Davy Crockett. Is that incredible? Davy Crockett. Okay, so he served as a congressman, and as he would speak, he left the Congress. He got invited to speak and traveled to speak, and he has this just incredible style. So he set up this program called Executive Dynamics, and it started in Texas, and then eventually he moved it to, for those from Indiana, Darcy, I see you're here. He moved it to McCormick's Creek State Park, and they would take over the lodge there, and he would teach this 3-day program. And the 3-day program was on how to have a good day. And they would spend 3 days designing the perfect single day. So that just fascinated me, that you'd spend 3 days to design a single day. But as he said, if you do that and you have one good day, then if you do that 7 in a row, you got a good week. You do that 52 times, you got a good year. So it begins with, how do you create that single individual day? And so Ed would tell the story, and one of the great stories about how it's important to him to talk about having a good day was that Zig's youngest brother, Judge Ziegler, attended this program, and Zig even attended the program. So they were linked, and obviously Zig became significantly more well known than Ed, but Ed certainly has had an extraordinary career. Hey, Randy, great to see you. Yes, life is terrific. He responds terrific to everything, and so that's exactly what it's about. And as I said earlier, if you just tune it in, I don't know Ed. I shook his hand one time. I really don't know him, but I listened to his program this morning, and it was something that I found exciting and inspirational, and wanted to share a couple of ideas with you. And Darcy, you're off to the right start, right? Starting every day being grateful for everything you have: health, job, friends, family. So true. And it's just critical that we do that. So a couple of things that Ed Foreman talks about, and he's got this great line where he says, you need to get up earlier. And instantly we go, I didn't know it was going to be that hard, right? I mean, I didn't, frozen up there for a second. Oh, good grief, my camera. I was trying to fix my camera there for being a little out of focus. And let me see if I can get this so that it doesn't get out of focus on us like it has been there. There we go. So he says, you gotta get up earlier. And the joke is, I didn't think it was going to be that hard, but yet, what do we end up doing because we don't get up earlier? We many times are in a rush first thing in the morning. Now, earlier is relative. By that, it doesn't mean that you get up at 5 a.m. It means that instead of whatever time you're normally getting up, if you get up 15 minutes sooner, it would give you the chance to do these things. And I have applied that here since JJ Virgin came into my life. By the way, JJ is having her summit this weekend called the Mastermind Summit. And I was a part of it, listening to it this morning. I'm attending the summit over this weekend. And so it's just been spectacular. And JJ is who kind of designed the program to help me get my act together in terms of physical, fitness and things like that. And it's really made such a difference. And that's one of the things that JJ says is, you shouldn't start your morning stressed out, which is what most of us do, don't we? It's what most of us do. Hey, Jill, great to see you. Thank you for being here today. Hey, Tom Brand is with us, and I'm going to disappear behind this as Tom's writing a book here, but this is true. Listening with my dad, I share my frustration. Have a good day. Yeah, message at home. Make a conscious attempt. Tom, that's right on the money. Absolutely true. And so part of what Ed is saying is, so after you get up earlier, what do? Well, you immediately read or listen to something positive. You instantly, as soon as you wake up, the first thing that you do is to read or listen to something positive. There's tons of great books out there for you to keep at your bedside and just to read a paragraph or two first thing when you wake up. Everything from See at the Top, the Zig Ziglar, to Results Rule by Randy Pennington, to Iconic by Scott McKay. There's a plethora of fantastic books that are out there for you to pick and or to listen to. I have it set now so that my Alexa wakes me up. I shouldn't have said it out loud because maybe I triggered some of yours. But it wakes me up with Jim Rohn from Audible. So, buy a book on Audible. Did you know to do that? Now you can set your alarm to go off to that. So that's what you wake up to. So the principle behind this, though, really, really struck me once it was explained to me. I thought that might be, I don't know how to say this right. It might be a bit of motivational mumbo jumbo, if you know what I mean. There's some things out there that are motivational, and there's other things that are out there that makes you kind of question. Okay, so here was the way that Ed puts it. He said, have you ever noticed if you hear a song the first thing in the morning, you find yourself still humming that song in the middle of the afternoon? Or if you're awakened to a shocking headline, you can't quit thinking about it. You can't quit thinking about this news story or this headline that was the first thing. And he said it's very natural because when you wake up, you haven't been focused on or concentrating anything. And so the mind is trained to concentrate. And it'll grab the first thing you put into it in the morning. So make certain that what you put into it is of an uplifting or more positive nature, because in that manner, you're able to, there you go, the ultimate, right? Exactly, Charles, the ultimate. Yes. And by putting that into your mind first thing in the morning, that's what you've poured the foundation for the day. Second thing, by getting up earlier, what it gives you the time to do is to take a moment for appreciation and reflection. Get your cup of coffee and just step outside and breathe the air, or look at the sunrise, or just take, and I'm not saying you have to, meditate out there for 30 minutes. It's just that you take a moment and get in control and be appreciative, whether you're thanking God or the universe or just being grateful for the day. It's taking that moment for appreciation and reflection. The next thing he suggests is that we start our good day, our terrific day, with just doing a little exercise, a little stretch. For me, it's taking a walk. For you, it might be just, stretching to get the body pumping, whatever it might be. It's doing something to really get your body going. Next, throughout the day, what we're trying to find, and this is the one that's been difficult for me, but I'm working on it. Someone once said that, isn't it interesting? Even a masterpiece can be a work in progress. As you paint your masterpiece, it can still be a work in progress. I really like that. Just because you have these things that you're working on doesn't mean that you're not creating a masterpiece. So your masterpiece is a work in progress. So thorough organization can help you have controlled responses. So in other words, if you're on top of things, then you are better able to respond once challenges are created and presented along the way. The other thing is disorganization is stressful. It's always gunning from the hip. It's always, it's a lot of things that create challenge for us. So thorough organization and controlled responses. In other words, if somebody comes in and is angry, being able to control yourself and control your response is very important. Doing this diffuses anger. One of my coaching clients, and I'm not going to use his name because he didn't give me permission to tell the story, but one of my coaching clients had had someone that had a customer who was very angry. And he said, I got to tell you, he said, my initial response was to get angry right back. How can you be mad about that? You're an idiot. I did, because he said the customer was wrong. By the way, one of the things that I teach about the ultimate customer experience is, yes, the customer can be wrong. The customer is not always right. The customer, though, is always the customer. And so you have to deal with their error in a positive and productive manner. So what he told me was, instead of, though, he fought his natural reaction to jump right back and defend himself, and who do you think you are, blah, blah, to control the response. To say, obviously there's been a miscommunication here somewhere. And if I miscommunicated, I need to set that right with you right now. So let's back up and let's review. And he went through the process, and the guy's anger went from here to the point that that customer placed a $7,000 order that day. Now, what would have happened if my friend and client would have responded the way that we all probably would initially respond? Well, what do you think who you talk to me that way? But through this process, we diffuse our anger and we help to eliminate some challenges that we face. Critically important. Here's another point that Ed Foreman makes that I think is really, really good and really important. Leisurely transportation. Because we are organized, because we got up early, whether we're talking about the rush hour drive in or the rush hour drive back, and I realize this has changed pretty dramatically because of the pandemic, but one of the things that he says is how many times, because we're running late, is that morning drive to the office or that morning drive to work so stressful because we got to get there to get to a meeting, we got to get there to get on time, and think of how that starts our day. Or we're not organized, so we end up staying too long, and now we're trying to get home as quick as we can to get there to our partner to take them out to dinner. Or they've got dinner away or what, and it just messes everything up. So what he's suggesting is that we diffuse our anger and our challenges through thorough organization, controlled responses, which gives us the time. And here's the other thing, if traffic is stopped on the interstate, what are you going to do about it? Now, if you know a place where you can exit and take the back roads, do it. But if you have nowhere to get off or there's nowhere to go, getting mad is not going to make the traffic move more rapidly, right? I mean, it's the same in any way. So the point is, make this part of how we relax. Whether it's, again, listening to a book on Audible, or whether it is listening to relaxing music or listening to music that we enjoy, it is that time in our car could and should be time that we can enjoy, as opposed to time that we're stressed out to get to the next place. don't overwhelm your system with a large evening meal. Now, some of the things I've learned from J.J. Virgin are different from what Ed Foreman teaches. And I think you have to pick an expert and stick with him. And J.J. is my fave. And that's my deal. Ed has a great line about breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and supper like a pauper. In other words, the big meal of the day should be breakfast. All right. Some of the things that have happened. Now, remember, this is a program that the recording is 40 years old that I'm listening to. You know, I mean, you can download it today on Audible, right? I mean, that's how I got it. But the presentation was recorded 40 years ago. Part of what JJ talks about that I've learned from her, and once again, her name is JJ, the initials J and J Virgin. You can check her out at jjvirgin.com. She's just phenomenal, just amazing. She's been such an extraordinary help and colleague and inspiration. I can't say enough good things about what she's done for me. But one of the things that she believes in is the intermittent fasting that's been talked about, and kind of a relatively new aspect. And so my eating schedule is different in that I try to put off as long as I can in the morning having something to eat, because what happens when you do that is that the body tends to use up your stored fat, and you want to have intermittent fasting. So usually about 11 o'clock, I have a protein shake. Maybe 2:30, either have one of her power bars, protein bars. If I'm hungry, if I'm not, I don't have anything, maybe I'll have a green salad, 2:30. And then dinner, man, we've had some fantastic dinners. She has an amazing cookbook, and Tammy's done just such an extraordinary job of preparing meals that are based on that. And JJ's thing is really against sugar. For example, Tammy and I love red wine, so we now have a membership in Dry Farms Wine. By the way, this is not an affiliate pitch. I don't get a penny for saying this, so there's nothing here that I'm trying to get you to buy anything. But Dry Farms Wine has low sugar wine, and because of that, it's a healthier wine to drink, and a better wine to drink. That way, you get the tannins that are good for your heart and your brain, your circulation, without the added sugar that's not as good for your body. So one of the things I've noticed is that if I don't overwhelm my system with a large evening meal, I tend to sleep better, which of course is another great contributor to being good. So read something inspirational before retiring. If you're like me, the habit I got into was to lay in bed and kind of stare at the ceiling and think, okay, tomorrow I've got to do this and I got to do this. Well, I've already made my list of what I got to do tomorrow. And so when I go to bed, I want to read something inspiring, and that's kind of in my head as I drift off to sleep and get a good night's sleep. Ed doesn't talk much about this, but JJ has really driven this home for me, is that if it's hard to lose weight if you're not getting good sleep. Now, see, I kind of thought if you were up more and you're active more, you'd be burning more calories, but yet what you're doing is not getting in the right rhythm for your body to be able to do that. And I'm no expert. I'm just telling you what she has shared with me. And so I've really made it a priority to get at least 7 hours of sleep, and try to get 8, got 8 last night, hours of sleep a day, so that you wake up, again, a few minutes early, ready for the day. And if you go through that process and create that one good day, then you just start the process again, and you have a good week, and you have a better experience, and you're able to be as productive as you would like to be. Man, that is so important. And the thing that I learned from Ed Foreman when I first heard this program many, many years ago and listened to it again this morning, and the thing that I would suggest again to you, is that you can create a good day every day. Look, some days are going to be better than others. We know that, right? We know that. But when we're in control, we can create more opportunity. Darcy, if there's anyone I would defer to that knows about brain health, it is you. And that is that. I appreciate you emphasizing that. Getting a good night's sleep resets your brain for the next day. Yeah, it is. It's rebooting in a way, and it's hitting Control Alt Delete or hitting the power button on our Mac to reboot us and to reset and help make us more successful. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate you sharing that, Darcy. Hi, Michelle. Nice to see you, and happy Friday to you as well. Really glad that you're here. So those are the ways that we can create a good day every day. I mentioned JJ. I'm down 30 pounds, and I can't believe it. I mean, the clothes that I put in the back of the closet because they were too tight. Not only am I wearing those, but now they're loose. My too tight clothes are loose, and it's just losing a little bit every day, but it's doing this consistently. It's doing it. Now, the challenge, of course, is to keep it off. And the challenge, of course, is to, I've still got a few pounds to lose to get to my goal. That I have a goal by my birthday, which is November 4. So, that's part of why I'm sharing it with you. I want to encourage you for that. And I'm also going to need your encouragement to stick with it. And we've developed quite a nice little community here at Daily Distinction. So if you tuned in late, let's review. How do you create a good day every day? We understand the old cliche, but it's so true. It's not what happens to you, it's how you respond to what happens to you. So the program that Ed Foreman, that we showed a little video of, the program there that Ed talks about begins with getting up a few minutes earlier so we have time to be in control. We immediately read or listen to something positive. We take a moment for appreciation and reflection. We exercise, or at least we stretch to kind of get our bodies going first thing in the morning. We're thoroughly organized, which helps us control our responses throughout the day. We diffuse anger and challenges throughout the day. We realize that we have to be in control. We have leisurely transportation. We don't use it to get to the next place, but we kind of relax and we let our time as we are going back and forth to wherever we're going because we're organized, right? We're leaving a little early. We don't have to worry about it. We take our time. Next, we don't overwhelm our system with a large evening meal, so our bodies spend all night long working to digest the stuff that we've been throwing down all night. We read something inspirational before retiring. We get a good night's sleep, and then we start the process all over again. Hey, Charles, yes. As Dizzy Dean said, it ain't bragging if you done it, right? So I'm going to talk about it. Yeah, you got it. But if good grief, it's what I've realized. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And here's the thing. Yes, not to be confirmed. Yes, but two different people. But if there's anything that I've learned through this, I mean, there were times before that I'd lost weight and it always came back. And I don't think that's going to be the case this time, in part because I haven't felt deprived. And the other part is that I haven't felt the desperation to do it. It's just, okay, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to be gradual, change how I sleep, change how I eat. And I've heard the whole thing about, how do I describe it? I used to hear Zig Ziglar talk about, when he would jog and the endorphins and all that kind of thing. And I got to admit, I kind of thought, okay, but I've found that it is addictive. I kind of tweaked my knee on the Peloton, just using too much weight, too high of intensity on the Peloton to kind of tweak my knee day before yesterday. So yesterday I didn't do anything. I didn't do my walk. I didn't ride the bike. And I was struggling all day because I was like a smoker that needed that cigarette. I needed to do that. And that has been really amazing how it's changed. And again, I'm not trying to be the expert on this. I'm a learner. I'm a student going through the process, but I'm excited about it. As people have joked, the only people that hate smokers worse than those people that have never smoked are former smokers. Right? So they get passionate about it. I'm kind of the same way. Hey, Ken, it's great to see you. Thank you very much for checking in today. I really appreciate that. So I want everybody here to think about, what can you do to create a better day tomorrow? Well, for one thing, it's the weekend we're coming up on, right? But you can create a good day every day. Some days will be better than others, no doubt about that. But we can do the things that it takes to create a better day every day. Follow this. Hey, if you tuned in late, don't forget that you can get $10. Geez, 10 times 10, 10x that. $100 off the Distinction Summit with the code DISTINCT2020. Just go to distinctionsummit.com. It's coming up 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today, the Distinction Summit. really excited. Many of you are going to be there. I know. So that's really exciting. So I'm really, really glad that you are. And thank you for registering. But there's only 2 weeks. I mean, it's 2 weeks from today. Now's the time. Lisa, so nice to see you. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you checking in. Curtis, I don't know where you are today. You're always someplace fun, though. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Larry, thank you. Make it a great day. That's what we're going to do, and it is a great day. I'm honored that you took the time to be here. By the way, happy birthday to my pal Larry Wingett. Today is Larry's birthday, so happy birthday, Larry. Look forward to it. I'm going to get back to the Mindshare Summit. That's where I'm spending the rest of the day. I hope you have a great weekend. I'll check in quickly tomorrow at the same time as we do on the weekends. Just a quick check-in. I'll do that both Saturday and Sunday. Check out Distinction Summit. I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. Thank you for being here. I'll see you tomorrow on the next Daily Distinction.